How you doing, guys? Welcome to ZukaTube, and today we're going to be reviewing a movie called Christmas, Bloody Christmas. This just came out December 9th, 2022. It's a Shudder film, and let me just read the summary here. Then we're going to go through, we'll watch the trailer, we'll go through our breakdown and everything, we'll give you our review, and then we'll do a little spoiler section at the end. And today I got my wingman with me, Tessa.
Hey, guys.
The summary we got here is, it's Christmas Eve, and fiery record store owner Tori Toombs just wants to get drunk and party until the robotic Santa Claus at a nearby toy store goes haywire and makes her night more than a little complicated. Santa embarks on a rampant killing spree through a neon-drenched snowscape, ultimately forcing Tori into a blood-splattered battle for survival. Yeah, pretty interesting summary, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you already know that it's going to be like some indie B-movie type of wild shit. And when I play this trailer for you, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get into this here.
The U.S. Defense Department has spent over $1 trillion on the most cutting-edge robot technology. Introducing RoboSanta Plus for the upcoming holiday season.
Where are you going to
Shudder.
do this fine Christmas Eve?
I was potentially gonna go meet up with a dude. I've blown him off twice already, so
Come on.
You're going to meet up with a dude from Tinder on Christmas Eve.
grabbing a drink.
I talk
Like,
out of some Tinder trash.
That's how much of a loser you are.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
New
Weird
animatronic
electronic
state-of-the-art Santa
Santa in
Claus
the
featured
store.
at our own TW Bunkers is now the subject of an
Recalled.
international recall.
The music is pretty cool. Yeah, they definitely don't discriminate on which age demographic is going to get murdered. Oh, you see that? The practical effects of that was pretty wild.
You hear that?
Or what?
Complete blood-soaked experience. There's a lot of ridiculous stuff in this film, as you can see.
It's him.
Oh, Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's
Fucking Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's Santa Claus. He's coming to town. And he's got laser eyes.
Have you heard from the
Christmas.
boys
What?
down at the scene
Christmas.
yet? They're still down there counting bodies.
They're down there counting bodies. Okay, so that's the trailer. And you could see our friend Tori here. She's in for a wild Christmas. Or Christmas Eve, technically. And they don't really tell you how far into Christmas morning it may go. But it's rather late in the night. And she's out there. She's closing up at the record store. And her employee that I guess works for her, she's like the manager or something, basically cons her into skipping her Christmas Eve Tinder date to go out drinking with him. And like they go hang out. They stop at a toy store to meet some friends. And you see your first glimpse of the Santa robot. You know, and then they go out, they start drinking and everything, and they show on the news, like they show in the trailer, that it's been recalled. And this thing comes to life and starts killing. It's pretty wild. It's all like practical effects. There's no like CG or anything in this, so that's fantastic. Of course, I really love that kind of stuff. It's a little over the top. Tori is like the most annoying, like just loudmouth, like I do everything better than everybody. Like
I don't mind the loudmouthness
Yeah.
because I'm loudmouthed, but the way she does it is just very annoying. It's very, I'm better than you and I'll prove it whether you want me to or not.
100%, and it's agitating. And then in moments throughout this where things are getting hectic, and she's still like talking shit to people. Yeah, so when they run into this Santa and basically they have to run around through the town in the middle of the night and, evade getting killed by this Santa Claus, you see all kinds of like weird stuff happening, like where, the one couple, they're in the toy store, having sex, and then you get your
So
typical like, B-movie nudity kind of thing with some murder. Yeah.
I really fucking hate that shit. Like, I hate all of that crap. I hate any type of sex scene. I hate any type of, like, romance scene. It's just freaking weird.
Okay, so we have the super extremist wanting to censor all things.
No, I don't want to censor it. They are weird. They make me uncomfortable. And call that immaturity, but
they do a lot of like ridiculous moments where people are either having sex or getting extra drunk or, arguing or whatever. And then obviously Santa comes to town. So Tori and her employee, they run off together on their drinking spree for Christmas. And then, things get a little hot and heavy. And then at the same time, things get a little hot and heavy, as in the danger. The stakes are raising because Robo Santa has come to town. Well, he was already in town. He was in the toy store. But he's like alive now and he's killing shit. And it's, exactly what you would imagine from this film. Like, or any kind of film like this. It's just lots of ridiculous horror tropes thrown in with some stereotype stuff, but all in the Christmas theme with like the Robo Santa character killing people in really like funny ways and with some great practical effects.
definitely very gory, too.
Yeah, super gory. And you can see it in the trailer. I mean, they do show kind of some of the best practical effects in there, which I kind of don't like when they do that in the trailer, because that would have been great to see in the actual movie and not have known it was coming, because that was pretty wild,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
definitely
it's
still
pretty,
good.
It's still pretty wild when you see it, too, so don't let that dissuade you.
As far as like general like sound in it, it's all right. There's a lot of rock music and stuff because she works at like a record store, and there's tons of just constant references to songs talking about it. And then that brings me to my next section, which is like the story area. The story is like whatever. It's typical, but like the dialogue and everything in this film is very annoying. It's drowned out. It's agitating because the main character is not necessarily likable with her personality, and it really drags in long portions of the film early on that I think they could have skipped over, basically. Other than that, the effects are great, and the overall theme is obviously funny. I like that kind of stuff. And before I get to my review, I kind of want to ask like what you thought overall of some of that stuff in the film.
So I definitely like the way the killing went. But I definitely think had the main character and the storyline itself been different, it would have held a lot better. It just didn't make a lot, like a lot of things that we have reviewed recently. It didn't make a lot of sense. But again, I definitely like the effects. That was really well done.
Yeah, and I felt like with the effects being really well done and the theme of everything being something you would want to watch, it's a shame that they throw the story elements down the drain and don't make you really care about the characters. And they don't really add the weight into it that makes you at least give any kind of shit about anybody in this film. And that's the main issue I have with it. And my overall review for this, I would give this a 4 out of 10. I thought that it drug for quite a while. I thought the dialogue was very like just cringeworthy and agitating because obviously my main gripe with the first main character that they introduced being like so unlikable. The other secondary kind of character is somewhat all right, but for the most part, Tori is not a likable character at all. And it kind of drags throughout the whole movie because of that. And then without giving too much away, there's just a lot of the typical like, oh my God, can this Robo Santa be stopped? Elements to this that are really dragging throughout the movie. What would you give this film?
I would probably give it a 5. Again, love the gore, love the killing, love the way that played out. But a lot of parts, like where the killing isn't going on, you kind of want to just stop and look at your phone. Like, you just,
And now, let's get into the spoilers section. Because we got a 4 and a 5 out of 10. And I feel like I want to play at least one clip to show you what this is about, but it really spoils it. But
really
that's like
does.
one of the good visual effects parts that I wanted to show you. But let's get right into the spoilers section here. Spoilers. All right. So the one thing that I did like, and we both agree, is that the visual effects are pretty cool, and I do like the overall like Santa horror theme. So let's just play this one clip I thought was pretty cool. My man's struggling. This is why I didn't play it earlier, because he's like the secondary character, like the love interest. And about like 2/3 of the way in, my man's dead. Bam. Oh, dang. Oof, look at that. Wild looking. I'm just freezing on that so you can check it out.
it happens to another guy too, right? They like 2 guys get their head axed off.
Yeah, I mean, no, he stomps on a guy's head and just like mushes it up. But that's in the trailer, and I feel like that's a shame that they gave that part away, because the practical effects are cool. They could have showed a couple other smaller practical effects that were pretty dope too, and like that would have been fine. They could have spread that stuff out maybe a little bit more and made it a little less ridiculous on the aspect of can the Robo Santa be stopped that I said earlier as a con, because this thing is like every time they kill it, it comes back and back and back, but somehow stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's ridiculous. It's like Terminator by the end of it. Like, that's what this movie turns into, and it's very, very agitating, and I just can't like wait for it to just be over and this thing to be dead and finally dead at some point.
Yeah, because like literally at a certain point his eyes go dark, right? But each time he comes back, you either get more frustrated that he's coming back or get more frustrated that this bitch still hasn't learned to just get the fuck out of there instead of trying to fucking deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's not your job.
Yeah, and then by the end of it, like, this girl, like, she has like no real immediate family anymore. The love interest is dead. She's an asshole, and she just made it out. And you're just like, I don't care. I don't care what happens to her. I don't care nothing. I would have rather have seen at the end something happen where like Robo Santa is back, or like another toy store awakens, or a whole warehouse full of them or something. I don't know. But 4 out of 10 for me, 5 out of 10 for her. And I'm going to have to say that Zookatube out on this one. Christmas, bloody Christmas. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Dropping lines like an assembly. I'm staying on point. It's my strategy. Feel like they're tracking me. Yo, let me get on one. Now go get your tracks up. Homie, can I steal some? Homie, you can't stack up. My brother, can you shout me? You're barking up the wrong tree. My dog, why do you doubt me? Cause you can't do shit without me.
Real at the radio and never play it, but that's cool. The enemy's supposed to hate it.